Darn it! Did you want to fight? Is what you do?
Whoa, bro.
Fight?
Tepukuian right here alongside my partner Tony ToneDef.
What's up?
And we are going to talk about today this right here over on Bounding Into Comics. This came out today. Grace Randolph claims The Flash will erase Ben Affleck's Batman and Henry Cavill's Superman. This from JB Augustine over at Bounding Into Comics. I saw this in the form of the tweet from Grace Randolph.
That's just a car.
What are your initial thoughts on this, Tony?
Now, I know Grace has tweeted out, like, The Mandalorian, for instance. She tweeted out some things about that show, ended up being wrong about it, so I do take this with a grain of salt. Thing is, it's not surprising. Like, at this point where we're at with pop culture, it would make sense for them to follow through and start replacing. I mean, all you have to do is look at the MCU, where they're currently replacing a bunch of established characters with new diverse characters, new renditions of them. And
it's ridiculous. Like I said, I saw the title to the Midnight's Edge video, which was the D-She EU. So now you have the M-She-U versus the D-She EU. It's laughable. Marvel is going to shoot themselves in the foot when they realize that nobody is going to pay to see an entire Avengers team with America Chavez, Miss Marvel, Photon, Captain Marvel, Lady Thor, the Wasp, Scarlet Witch, and Valkyrie. Am I missing She-Hulk? And Yelena Belova, and Kate Bishop. I have nothing against a lot of those characters, like literally nothing. But if you tell me that, well, hey, did you like the Avengers? Well, if you like the Avengers with Steve Rogers and Thor, Tony Stark, you're gonna love this. And it's like, what is that feasible reason is there for me to stay invested in this? For DC to do something like this it's even funnier because DC is a mess.
they don't have the brand recognition to rely on.
No, because they've switched so many things. Tonally, you have this Flash movie, which has been in development since, 2016, I think? It's been so Andy Muschietti's finally going to get this thing out next year in the mainline cinematic universe. You have Henry Cavill, Superman. Well, no, we have Supergirl now, and Sasha Calais, and she's going to take over. It's like, wait, what? Oh, and Batman, Ben Affleck, we're going to erase him, bring Michael Keaton in, and then he's going to be like, Batgirl, you're the new Batman. Yeah, that's cool. And what about Robert Pattinson's Batman over here? We'll just let him play over there until we decide to cuck him out, too. This is fucking pathetic. And not only that, are they going to get rid of Superman altogether, they're going to bring in Supergirl, and that's going to be the new Superman. This Sasha Calais, who I've seen pictures of her outside of the role. She's an absolutely beautiful woman, but they made her look like garbage for this. And I'm not saying that looks, the aesthetic, is all that matters, because if she can't act a lick, then it doesn't make a bit of difference anyway what she looks like, if she's not believable in the role. But she's another just skinny little girl.
If you look ridiculous, you're going to be perceived as that.
Absolutely. And that's where I think a lot of this is really going. And then this Batgirl, and my track record with Batwoman. Batgirl is Batgirl. She's not Batman. There's a difference. It doesn't make any sense to replace the most Superman and Batman are 2 out of the 3 most recognizable superheroes in the entire world. Not just the US, not just DC Comics, but the entire world. And you're telling me that, we don't need them in our cinematic universe. Well, we've got a Batman, but he sparkles. And I'm not judging, because I want to see that movie. And honestly, it really looks good. For a lot of the criticisms, I fired the salvos off early at that. DC has no idea what they're doing. DC is completely schizophrenic. They're bipolar.
Yeah, I think they're just throwing as much at the wall as they can, including different renditions of the same proven characters, to see what makes them money and what doesn't at this point. They're not really worried about continuity. What's kind of funny, in Marvel's defense, at least they mastered the original team first and made that a success. in the Avengers before they decided to add newer elements, and take risks with the team. DC hasn't even gotten these basic fundamental characters down yet. Now they're trying to replace them. It's for different reasons than Marvel did. They're trying to just get something to catch fire. And this is basically giving up on all the original work. It's just sad. It's sad that, fans were you couldn't make it more obvious with Man of Steel 2. Everybody was, not everybody, but a lot of people were asking for that. And they've made 3 Harley Quinn movies since then. Lies 100% in their hands, and it doesn't matter really who's in these roles. You don't have good leadership if you don't have someone with a vision, then it's just going to continue to fail.
And I think that's a lot of the problem with DC is it's a rudderless ship. The Flash, who is absolute garbage.
Snyder picked, by the way.
I supported my friends that wanted it, and I did watch it, and at first I was like, it was okay, and then I watched it again, and I'm like, oh my god, like, this is just... Like, it fixed some things, but on others, it's not good. It's objectively not good. It's a very difficult place with DC, because I love Batman. If they're going to keep Amber Heard, if they're going to keep somebody with such low personal morals, I guess you would say, is her, why would anything that DC does regarding, Superman, Batman, etc., at this point surprise me in the least bit? Flash is going to reset the DC extended multiverse by moving on from the Snyderverse. This is the latest update from YouTube comic book film scoop purveyor Grace Randolph.
Well.
So claims, as many suspect, the upcoming film will be Ben Affleck's last go-around as Batman, and Henry Cavill will appear as Superman in reused footage as seen on TV.
I don't meet many people that don't like Henry Cavill. Like, you hear about him on The Witcher, and he's like a dictionary. He's such a nerd for it. He loves the Witcher franchise, and that represents in his work. I don't meet many people that don't like Henry Cavill. Like, it was such a layup with him as Superman, and it failed because of these businessmen who were never into the comics or any of the lore or any of that in the first place.
I think a lot of it goes on Zack Snyder.
A lot of it does. And do you mind me saying, too, like the anti-life equation stuff, that was kind of interesting, but with or without him, I feel like everything we've seen, these characters all deserve a lot better treatment.
And like I said, not the biggest Superman fan, but Superman just gets treated like garbage. It really does a disservice to such a character that's tried and true. And like I said the other night, is such a part of Americana as Superman. Sully that legacy in the name of contemporary politics and ideology, because this ideology is very, very contemporary. Like, here's the tweet, all right? And this is Grace's right here. And we'll go with this in the article. It says, as I've told you with the update, The Flash, Batfleck's final appearance, old footage of Cavill used on TV, new Justice League formed, Supergirl is new Superman, Supergirl's the new Superman, Keaton working with Black Canary picks Batgirl as new Batman, is the new DC. Let's be open-minded and give it a fair shot.
No, I don't think I will.
Half the people that see this aren't even going to know who Black Canary is because they didn't see Birds of Prey.
Her performance is lackluster, and I hate to break it to these idiots, but Black Canary's not black.
You've got to do better.
Look, I think Zendaya proves too, as long, and she's been on both sides of the spectrum. If you write her badly, people are going to react badly. But if you give her something to work with, something to sink her teeth into, it's fine. It doesn't matter who it is as long as it's represented well. And that's the problem, is they're not representing it accurately or particularly well.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for them.
It doesn't do them any justice, or their product any justice, to, like you said, to present it this way. You're tearing down Superman. You're tearing down Batman. And this is what you want to do to form your new Justice League? So are you gonna leave Aquaman in there, or are you gonna take him out? Are you gonna replace him with Mira? Are you gonna have Amber Heard as like Aquagirl? Is that something that's going to happen? Because honestly, it would not surprise me at all if this is the route they wanted to take.
He's proven to make money, Jason Momoa. So I think they're going to see how the sequel does, which comes out this year, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, they're going to see how he does first. He also doesn't fit certain descriptors of the type of person being judged against in Hollywood right now.
Aquaman 2 is scheduled for release December 16th, 2022, and that falls in line with the release date of the original one, which came out in 2018, I believe it was. Was it the end of 2018? No, it was December. It came out in December. It was right around the same time, like the first or second week of December, and that one hit $1 billion. Amber Heard, again, not a very integral part of that from a standpoint where the movie wouldn't work without her, or her playing the role of Mira. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and being honest, I haven't seen Aquaman, but I got some of Mira in the Justice League movies.
I'm shocked you haven't seen Aquaman yet. Really?
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
I've watched that movie I think 5. Trey loves it. I've watched it probably like 5-6 times.
Yeah, I should watch it for at least Willem Dafoe, but yeah, I haven't seen it.
He's great. He's honestly great in that. She added that a new Justice League will be formed. Sasha Calle's Supergirl will replace Cavill's Superman. Yeah, because nothing says power like replacing a Henry Cavill with a 100-pound little girl. An unexpected twist, the Tim Burton vs. Batman is said to be working with Black Canary, Juicy Smollett with tits, to recruit Batgirl Leslie Grace as his successor. Randolph clarifies the Keaton Black Canary Batgirl stuff has obviously happened in Batgirl's movie.
Well,
at this point, you have to wonder if it is intentional and not incompetence. They are just destroying these characters, these franchises. They see what works and what doesn't. They know what these companies spend a lot of money researching internet fan reaction and what people are saying and whispering.
Yeah.
I hope this is a Mandalorian situation, because I do want good entertainment. But this just sounds so bad on every level. And again, like the fact that you could screw up just a layup. Henry Cavill is Superman.
Oh, it's ridiculous. It's utterly ridiculous.
Yeah.
You can't take people like this seriously. You cannot take them seriously creatively. If this is the reboot, if you will, of the DCU.
I told you.
Stumbling through the drywall, losing your gimmick. And I say that not because they're women, but because they're characters that are like, you're replacing the A-team with like the Z-team. The Bat family, I don't give a fuck about any of them. Care about Nightwing. I don't care about Batgirl. I don't care about Batwoman outside of the TV show because it draws numbers to the channel. I don't. Tim Drake, whatever, the Red Hood, I don't care. Just give me good Batman stories. If those characters are involved on a side, but don't try to be like, oh, here, this is I don't give a shit about these, D-list characters. I don't.
Derivatives.
Watered down garbage. I don't like. Why am I supposed to care? That's like going to a wrestling show back in the day and just being like, I'm here to see fucking Barry Horowitz.
are you fucking high?
They're already experiencing diminishing returns, and now they're taking these derivative characters, shoving them in basically the main event slot, and seeing where there's going to be a point where, all of these movies are going to be losing money. Like, they better stop, write out a plan, write out a roadmap of what they're trying to do, buckle down, take their time, and accomplish it, because they had all the ingredients needed to make a good stew. But they just turned the burner on high, kind of fucking slopped everything together, and now it's boiling and splashing all over. And go about this correctly. Find the best way to go about each ingredient and when to add it and how to dice it or slice it. And take your time. That's the thing, is now they kind of are on borrowed time. They're up against the clock. They already aren't taken as seriously as their competitor. And this is the time that they could have kind of shifted into that number one spot, with Marvel making the mistakes they have recently. Here they are, just outclassing them on every mistake. Hold my beer.
Exactly. Right now, with Marvel kind of... and this is Spider-Man No Way Home notwithstanding, Marvel's pretty much dropped the ball all year. I don't care what any of these Marvel stans say because their opinions mean very little to me. This whole, Loki was awesome. Well, yeah, it was so stunning and brave because the writer of the show had to insert her own sexuality into the mainline story. And then it was like, you're a bigot if you don't like the fact that Loki's bisexual and basically almost,
Yada, yada, yada.
we had all been told,
You've got to do better.
what else did we have? We had WandaVision, which was absolutely shit the bed. What If? Had a couple good episodes of What If, but there was so much wrong with that show. And I know they're hypothetical scenarios, but none of them made sense. Marvel shit the bed. This was DC's time to go for the jugular and at least get a foothold on regaining some sort of momentum cinematically. Warner Brothers needed that W, and instead they're going to take a big L, and it's going to hit them right in that wallet. That's what it's going to cost them to go through and reboot the Snyderverse. I'm not advocating for the Snyderverse, not at all. I'm advocating for actual good movies. The rest of the article goes on to state, as disappointing as this is for the hashtag Restore the Snyderverse crowd, Randolph sees the bright side. Remember, Babs and Dinah have always been very good friends in the comics. I think Leslie Grace and Journey Smollett Bell will have very good chemistry, she says.
Oh, we're scissoring.
And here's the coup de grace as far as I see it.
And to have a superhero woman of color mentoring another could be very powerful.
There are so many things wrong with that statement, and not because she's advocating for women of color, but because why?
Yeah, what matters here is the individual's skin and not who they are. It's not, well, with this person's experience and everything they've been through, to have positive effect, pass down some of that knowledge to this person, that would be great. And nope, hey, to have this black chick teach this black chick could be very powerful.
Is that like a personal attack or something? Or...
That's the crux of it, though. I mean, outside the fact that they might have some... That's what they're doing. They're trotting them out for the sake of their skin color, not for the content of their character, not for... Are these characters going to sell? Are these characters going to bring people in? Are they going to make us money? Do they make sense? Are they well written? It's like, well, they're both black, so we don't care.
Yeah. And that sucks because I'd love for them to be well written. I'd love for them to be intriguing.
Yes.
And
for as much as these people want you to think that race is such a factor in all the negativity that surrounds a lot of these movies and TV shows, it's not. When have I ever, outside of the fact that I make fun of the fact that they made Batwoman a token character, do I ever negatively speak of the character because she's black? No, because the character's written like shit. They purposely tokenized her because they said they were going to with the casting, because the showrunner is a white who is like, oh my God, we need a strong woman of color. That's kind of, and that's, I'm sorry, because I haven't said it once, but it's woke, completely woke. And I haven't said that once this entire video, but that's what it is. That's what it boils down to. And it's just sad because you're just ruining these existing things that people love. You're making these people out to be martyrs when they don't have to be.
the goal used to be to try to not stereotype characters on the screen, regardless of who they were. And now that seems to be the point. It's what happens when uncreative people get into these positions. People that don't have a passion for the characters or the product. People who see it and, is that not a form of censorship in itself? I don't like how this is presented. I'm going to change it up, and add the things that I want to it. And then, again, get upset if you don't like it. It's like ordering a BLT and you get it slathered in Thousand Island sauce. It's just not a BLT anymore. It's not what I ordered.
But then they yell at you for not wanting it.
And for not anticipating them adding a boiled egg on top of it or something, something that just doesn't go with it.
No, and that's essentially what a lot of these creatives do is they create garbage, they put their own agendas into it, and then it's our fault for not believing what they believe because we're, these troglodytes. Not everyone is on board this pivot by DC Films, and Randolph addressed that without wishing to delve into negativity, reacting to studio decisions. It's absolutely no fun to cover all these upcoming DC movies from a hateful perspective. It's just too draining. she wrote in a follow-up post. So yeah, to give you my perspective, I'm going to try my best to soldier on.
But that's not the case here.
The first world problems of Grace Randolph.
Well.
If accurate, the hard-to-swallow pill of these claims is that the Snyderverse is dead regardless of the positive spin put on the circumstances by Mikey Sutton of Geekosity. Maybe they keep an ace in their back pocket, though, and work something out with Henry Cavill. I honestly, at this point, don't see that happening. Oh, yeah, he's got the Witcher franchise now, and that's going well for him. So I think, honestly, he's going to write off his time as Superman and just say, you know, it is what it is. Done, it's gone, and now I move on to, you know, bigger and better things. I just wish that we could have gotten at least one good Superman movie out of him while he was, you know, playing Kal-El.
He should have had a trilogy by now, and it's disappointing. But I remember they didn't want to pay him correctly either. Like, there was a whole dispute over that, and
Yeah.
I think he is a nerd. I think he is into a lot of this stuff. I think even he sees it's just kind of not worth it. And I've heard he's had meetings with the MCU as well. So, I mean, if he goes over there, at least he'll be making his money at that point.
Yes.
Because DC shouldn't pay what was supposed to be the centerpiece of their universe very well.
No, they did not. Not at all.
Good for him. Get out of there. Go
Yeah.
do what makes you happy, because they obviously have no idea. I guess Black Adam's supposed to come out soon. How long have we been hearing about that movie, and The Rock is going to be in it? How long ago did he come out at MTV Video Music Award and call all the Marvel actors Marvel bitches? You know, like,
Yeah.
that's been years. Who can wait around and blow the prime years of their life waiting for these executives to get their shit together?
I would just move on and do my thing. All right, so we're going to give you our final thoughts. Now, I'll let Tony go ahead and go first.
I don't mean to be black-pilled, but I don't even want to say too little too late, because it's not even like they're giving us something that we want. It's just, if I could give them any advice for if Futurama was right and all of this is going to repeat, you know, and billions of years down the line, everything will reset. Master the original version of the team first.
Yeah.
Make sure we know the characters by the time you do decide to do another Justice League movie. Make a few $1 billion off those kind of movies and its sequels, and then think about tweaking and making changes, even though even then it won't make the fans happy. At least you'll have the brand recognition there. This sounds bad, and just final thought, I hope this is a Mandalorian situation and Grace is kind of pulling this out of her ass, or someone else's.
Yeah, I would really, really love for this to be completely wrong. And to kind of let you know where I'm at with this, like I said, I grew up on Christopher Reeve movies. Batman with Michael Keaton, I saw in the theater at 9 years old, and he's been my favorite Batman ever since. Adam West notwithstanding. But I did like Batfleck when we actually got him as Batman. I'm not a huge Zack Snyder fan. I own a couple of the movies. You know, I own Man of Steel. I own BVS, the Ultimate Edition. Have I watched those at all, except in passing and flipping through cable in the last year or so? No. To see the main players wiped away and to usher in this newly inclusive, diverse cavalcade of characters, it doesn't make any sense to me from a financial standpoint. It doesn't make any sense to me for a studio trying to get their product back up off the ground and back into the pop culture zeitgeist, which it is really not right now. Let's be honest. DC films are not a big, like, you had the Suicide Squad, and that was forgot about like that. People talk about Marvel constantly because Marvel's constantly got things coming out. And what DC has is all on the CW for the most part. And outside of Superman and Lois, it's all been garbage. And I think that this is going to fall right in line with that. Aquaman, like I said, it was a cool movie. I did enjoy it. I didn't see that in the theater. I waited for it to come out on Blu-ray. I got it then. I don't like Amber Heard. I can't believe, to wrap this all up with a bow on it, I think this is going to be a dumpster fire of Joss Whedon Justice League proportions. Go out like a Scud missile. There's not going to be this, oh my gosh, look at it, because they see what Marvel's doing, and now they're going to try to do that. And they have to keep at least one male character in instead of Thor, which, it's so funny, instead of Chris Hemsworth, you have Ezra Miller. So Sasha Calais and the other young lady's name eludes me. Leslie Grace, I think it was, or something like that. Was that it?
That's something. Yeah.
That's going to play Batgirl. Batgirl and Supergirl are not Batman and Superman. And with that, Tony, thank you for recording with me on this one, man. I did. I wanted to get your perspective as well.
Thank you for having me on. You know me, I love to hear myself talk, so anytime.
Well, if you folks want to hear us talk some more, tune in tomorrow night, 8:35 Eastern. Going in Raw, myself, Tony, Vinny, and Red will entertain you for a few hours on Monday night, as we do every week. Our first episode of the new year. And it's kind of a special night tomorrow for Tony. It's his 2-year anniversary on the show.
Yes. And it might already be by the time you hear this. So thank you, everyone, for you tuning in, giving this channel views, participating in the chat. That's what makes all of it possible.
Thank you, guys. And I'm Temple Queen of the Place to Be Reviews. I've been here with all of you. If I don't see you, have a great day, a pleasant tomorrow. And remember,
It's better to burn out than to fade away.
Boom!